Hey, welcome back, guys. The setup is now in motion, no pun intended, in Raising Kanan's second installment. We were granted a few brawls and cold calculations this week that will only heat things up going forward. I'm here to break it all down in typical top 10 WTF fashion. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. WTF Moment Number 10, False Alarm. The episode kicks off with Rock warning Kanan about the dangers of complacency, pushing him to remain vigilant. Upon departing for school, Kanan notices a bullet casing. Then, a mysterious vehicle pulls up. Fearing the worst, Rock yells out her son's name as a warning. Thankfully, the potential assassins turned out to just be delivery men. But that didn't stop Rock from personally dropping K off at school, though. WTF Moment Number 9, Rage Against the Devine. Once in school, Kanan and his crew are thrust into chaos in the form of a brawl featuring Davina. She and another girl are vigorously engaged due to the latter's disrespect of Davina's slain boyfriend. Vina gets a clean mouth shot in on the girl after she continues using Buck's name in vain, further fueling the pandemonium. WTF Moment Number 8, The Throne. Detective Howard meets with Unique at his tailor shop. He expresses his intentions to support Neek's vie for street supremacy, so long as the bodies cease dropping on his watch. By firmly taking a side, Rock certainly has her hands full in the ops department. WTF Moment Number 7, Storefront. Rock and Lulu approach a local business about using it as a potential stash spot. Upon entering, they realize that the owner has no regard for female authority, something that the bruises on his wife's face and his approach to negotiations clearly indicate. Rock's demeanor in this scene is a welcome wake-up call to a casual abuser fascinated by her business savvy and shrewdness. WTF Moment Number 6, The Stash House. Marvin brings Kanan to the family stash house, ordering him to learn the ropes and assist with duties there. Kanan soon learns that the new assignment is a preventive measure by Rock to keep him off the streets and out of trouble. WTF Moment Number 5, The Cost. Jukebox and her lady-to-be are out shopping for clothes when Juke comes across a top, seemingly turned off by the price. Juke's girl offers to pick up the tab, only to offend her lover in the process. The dispute highlighted the complexity of their relationship, one split between race, class, and sexuality. It also brought them even closer, fleshing out those complexities as honestly as possible. By the way, did y'all know that Juke's government name was Laverne? I had no clue about that shit. But moving right along. WTF Moment Number 4, The Setup. Lulu intercepts D-Wiz on his way to Kanan's crib. He tells him that there's been a change of plans and promises Wiz the best night of his life. A half-truth at the very best. WTF Moment Number 3, 4 Sentences. Kanan catches up with Davina while she's strolling by with her sister, purposely evading the influence of her crack-induced mother. She tells Kanan that Buck was mentioned in the obituary section of the newspaper, sadly expanding that his life only amounted to 4 sentences. She then inquires about the rumblings of beef between Kanan and her fallen, something Kay quickly dismisses. Her reaction to his rebuttal suggests a darker path to come, especially when her anguish finally meets revenge in her newfound suspension time. WTF Moment Number 2, Fight Club. Tony gets disrespected by a random club goer frustrated by the long wait. Marvin furiously intervenes, knocking the guy out and subsequently starting a brawl outside of his own party. The gesture jumpstarts a romance between the two, one that Rock will surely disapprove of given her history with Tony. This is going to be one to keep an eye on as we progress on through. And WTF Moment Number 1, Home Run. Lulu and Wiz take a piss at a nearby alley, the latter reflecting on the crazy night he was promised, now realized. During his joy-filled monologue, a saddened Lulu ups Bango on the kid and sends him home to the Lord, fulfilling Neek's request for a body and Rock's orders all at once. Some lingering thoughts before we end today's video. The title of this episode was Reaping and Sowing, and it's a direct correlation to the consequences faced by Kanan and the crew following Buck's murder. Rock is placed in the tightest of positions as a drug lord and protective mother. The move against D-Wiz was as savage as any, but somebody had to fall in order for Kanan to stand. And like Kanan once told us himself, it ain't no friends in the street. It's tough for D-Wiz to be put down the way he was, but in retrospect, the killing was inevitable. It was Wiz who riled up Kanan for the Buck murder in the first place, supplied the weaponry, and even arguably took the kill shot. Not only that, Wiz also recklessly spoke about the maneuver openly, and even planned on going after Kanan's girl, Davina, something young K would have never stood for. If Lulu didn't remove Wiz, Kanan likely would have been forced to in time. At least they sent him on home with a great night as the prelude. R.I.P. to him all the same. I hope we see a lot more of Marvin going forward. He's proudly the black sheep of his criminally inclined family, but he's also the most charismatic. He adds a certain flair to even the most minuscule of screen time, and I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what more he has for us. When Rock declares to Lulu that, quote, "It's time to get your Reggie Jackson on," she was referring to the legendary baseball player and right fielder. This is why once Luke carried out the hit, he contacted his sister and plainly stated, "Home run." Rock's manipulations in this episode provide insight into Kanan's own back in Book 1. The infamous villain would routinely approach his enemies with a smile, gaining access to the information necessary for a successful takeover. Rock exhibited these cold qualities in the D-Wiz setup and execution. And it's crazy watching Kanan's matriarch work so seamlessly, barely batting an eye in the midst of it all. Like mother, like son, I suppose. And finally, it's compelling that Juke and Marvin both hold interracial love interests. It tells us that Marvin's pending disownership of his daughter won't be along racial lines, but sexual ones. Fingers crossed whenever that tragic day arrives. And that'll do it for this one. What did you think of this week's episode? Be sure to drop me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.